All right, art nerds, I'm going to talk to you about some of your value exercises that you are going to be completing in class. Okay, first of all, we have this one titled the value pencil exercise. And this is just a quick one to get an idea of the full range of value that each of your drawing pencil produces. So you'll notice that each of these rectangles are labeled with a different grade of pencil. So you have your HB, 2B, 4B, and 6B. So I got to get these kind of organized. Here's my 2B, my HB, my 6B, and my 4B, okay? So all you need to do is you're going to make a tornado from dark to light using each of your drawing pencils. So I'm going to set these ones aside, but keep them in order for me. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start as dark as possible with my pencil. So I'm pushing as hard as I can and creating a scribbled tornado. And then as I keep going, I'm going to get a little bit lighter, a little bit lighter, a little bit lighter, as I go across my paper, okay? And that's as dark as this HB pencil is going to get, okay? And that's because it's a hard black pencil, okay? HB's done. Moving on to my 2B. Doing the same thing, okay? Notice how it's a little bit darker? 2B should be darker because the lead is softer. All the way across. Then off to my 4B. That one's pretty dark. Nice. Lighter and lighter, lifting up on my pencil. And finally my 6B. Okay, nice and black. The 6B is like the line that I'm creating is also thicker with the 6B because it's just so soft. And then the lines here are just like so thin. Okay, so that gives me an idea of what kind of values I can create with each of them. Okay, notice how my HB pencil never will get as dark as my 6B pencil. But each of them can get super light, okay? So it depends on what part of your project you're working on, okay? Now, there's two other exercises that you're going to be working on, and they are a little bit more time-consuming. I wouldn't say harder, I'd just say more time-consuming, okay? And the first one is, I call it the value texture exercise, and we are going to be working with blending, stippling, hatching, and cross-hatching. And I'm just going to bring over my finished one so you kind of see what it looks like. So your goal is to create value using different techniques. Blending is when you are filling in each of these rectangles so then they are nice and smooth and have a flat value. So trying to keep it nice and even, that's where I might break out my tortillon, that blending tool, to smooth things in, or I could just use my finger to blend things and then clean it up afterwards. And then lighter and lighter and lighter until there is one box that's just left white, okay? Stippling is shading by drawing dots or like very short strokes. So the only difference between blending and these stippling, hatching, cross-hatching we're going to talk about in a bit is the way that value is created is not by making your marks lighter, but making them more spread out. Okay, notice, see how far apart these dots are and how they're a little bit closer together, a little bit closer together, they're a little bit closer together until they're like almost touching each other, okay? I used a black pen for this, so it's not like I have a light black pen and then a dark black pen, okay? My pen can't get any darker. So it's all dealing with the space around my strokes that I'm creating. Same thing with this hatching. Hatching is basically kind of like stripes, okay? So you're making fine parallel lines, and I have them wide and thick. Wide and far apart, and then it gets closer and closer together as I keep going, okay? My lines aren't getting darker. They're just have smaller spaces in between each of the lines, and that's what's going to keep my value getting darker as the closer those lines get. And then cross-hatching is essentially you have hatching and then you have cross-hatching, so you're making perpendicular lines. And so it kind of looks like a checkerboard. Okay, I'm going to zoom in really close so you can see how my lines aren't getting darker, they're just getting closer together, okay? And that's sort of the trick of the eye when you're working with these value exercises. So the last one is the same thing, okay? It's just like this, except for you're making it gradual. See how this gradually gets darker? This gets gradually more spread out. Same with this one and this one. That's all that you're really doing. So we not only need to be able to match values, but be able to try to blend them together so we can have transitioning between dark and light values that's nice and smooth, okay? Because not every assignment that we do are going to be like, this is this value, this is this value. Some of them are kind of fuzzy where they flow in and out, okay? Even just look at my hand, okay? There's parts of it that are light, parts of it that are dark, but there's no like stripes on my hand, okay? That's a lot of gradual shifts between values. So that's what we're going to be trying to do with our pencils as well. So I hope this video was helpful and gives you sort of a little bit more of an idea of how to complete these assignments.